Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Third Canto, 6th verse, 6th chapter, 36th verse. Tathapi kirtayami anga.
Tathapi kirtayami anga.
Yata mati yata shrutam.
Yata mati yata shrutam.
Kirtim hare swam satkartum.
Kirtim hare swam satkartum.
Giram anyabhi dhasatim.
Giram anyabhidasatim.
Can someone recite, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Tatapi kirtayami anga.
Tathapi kirtayami anga.
Yata mati yata shrutam.
Yata mati yata shrutam.
Kirtim hare swam satkartum.
Kirtim hare swam satkartum.
Giram anyabhidasatim.
Giram anyabhidasatim.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Can someone please?
Hare Krishna. Tathapi kirtayami anga.
Tathapi kirtayami anga.
Yatha mati yatha shrutam.
Yatha shrutam.
Kirtim hare swam satkurtam.
Kirtim hare swam satkartum.
Griham anyabhidashitam.
Giram anyabhidasatim.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Translation. In spite of my inability, whatever I have been able to hear from the spiritual master and whatever I could assimilate, I am now describing in glorification of the Lord by pure speech. But otherwise, my power of speaking would remain unchaste. So this Maitreya Rishi is concluding his response to Mahatma Vidura. So Mahatma Vidura asked, please tell me about Krishna, glorifying Krishna. And then Vidura, Maitreya Rishi started. And this is the verse where he ends, saying that in my ability, whatever I heard from my spiritual master, from my guru, and whatever I understood in the glory, I'm glorifying. And thus, by glorifying the Lord, my speech is purified. The Prabhupada is explaining how conditioned souls, they're contaminated, their consciousness is contaminated because they're involved in a lot of material activities. So their consciousness, their chitta is completely contracted and contaminated. So because of that, whatever their material activities, they just make them impure. So there's never-ending impurity that they accumulate, the conditioned souls. But by speaking about Lord, at once the conditioned soul feels content and satisfied. Like if we also, when we experience throughout the day, we are involved in mundane activities, but when we start reading Bhagavatam or Gita, we feel so content. It's a practical, pratyaksha, a direct experience that we feel that whenever we glorify Lord, our consciousness becomes bright, expanded, and clear. So Prabhupada is explaining that how the Vaishnava school, they use sannyasis, Tridandi sannyasis. They are the sannyasis in Vaishnava school, they are called Tridandi sannyasis. Means they hold 3 sticks. And whereas Mayavadi, they're called Ekadandi sannyasis. If you see Mayavadi sannyasi, they hold only 1 danda. So what it implies is, Tridandi means 3 sticks. It implies that the sannyasi has offered his body, mind, words to the Lord. And it also means that the three tattvas, Vishnu tattva, Jiva tattva, and Maya tattva, all separated. And everyone is servant of Vishnu. Whereas Ekadandi Sannyasi, they hold only one rod, implying that everything is one. But that is just half of the story. Yeah? Because we are all simultaneously one and different from Lord. This is the principle, tattva, established by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Achinta Beda Abeda Tattva. So here is saying that, Maitreya is saying that whatever I heard from Guru and whatever I understood, I spoke. What does it mean? He's very humble. And also that is one reason. And second reason is, no one can fully describe the glories of the Lord. No one. There's no one, there's no capacity. No one has any capacity. Even Ananta Shesh, with 1,000 mouths, 1,000 tongues, he's constantly glorifying the Lord and is still going on and on. And there's no end to it. What to speak of Ananta Shesh, even Krishna himself, he's not able to understand his own Shaktis. He sometimes becomes bewildered by seeing Srimati Radharani. It's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Srimati Radharani's glories are expanding, her service is expanding to Krishna so unlimitedly that Krishna wants to find the end of that. But he thinks that, okay, now I understood Radharani. But again, he fails. Oh no, I couldn't understand. So it's mentioned how our Acharyas mentioned that Mahaprabhu, Krishna came as Mahaprabhu to understand that Radharani's prema rasa seema. Radharani's prema rasa seema, he wants to understand. And that's why Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is eternally experiencing that. Radharani's prema rasa. And there's always competition. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says there is always competition between the Shaktis of Krishna and Krishna. Krishna thinks that he understood his Shaktis, but Shaktis change the opinion of Krishna again. They again expand their services, and again Krishna is trying to understand their love and service. So that's how he becomes subservient of his devotees, especially Srimati Radharani. So that's why no one has power to glorify the Lord. Whatever our capacity is, whatever we hear from Guru, and whatever we understood, we can only glorify that, and that too by the mercy of the Lord. Because to speak about Lord has to be merciful. Otherwise, no one can speak about Lord just like that. So what has Maitreya Rishi explained so far? So he explained that previously we read that how the primary creation has happened, like how it starts explaining by how the creation has started, Sarga. So Krishna in his spiritual world, in spiritual sky, he is always with his Shaktis, enjoying with his Shaktis. But there is one Shakti which is dormant, and Krishna feels unfulfilled because that Shakti is dormant. Is not able to enjoy with that Shakti. And the Shakti that he's enjoying they're all internal potency, Chit Shakti, internal Shakti, Antaranga Shakti. Whereas the Shakti which is dormant is Maya Shakti. And why he feels unfulfilled? Because out of his compassion. There are many jivas, conditioned jivas, dormant within that Maya Shakti, bound by that Maya Shakti. And Lord feels that so compassionate towards the conditioned souls that he wants to deliver them. He wants to bring them and engage them in the service of his internal potencies. The Lord is in his spiritual sky, enjoying with Chit Shakti. You can say Narayana is enjoying with Sri Devi, Bhudevi, Neela Devi, Krishna with Srimati Radharani and all the Sakhis, Chandravali. in Vrindavan, and Krishna and Vasudev in Dwarka is enjoying with his Shaktis, his Satyabhama, Rukmini, Jambavati, and Sri Ramachandra is enjoying with Sita Devi in Ayodhya, and Narayana enjoying with Sri Shakti, Bhu Shakti, and Lila Shakti. So they're all internal Shakti, and those Shaktis are never dormant. They're always active, they're eternal, they're liberated, and they're internal Shakti of Krishna. But there is one Shakti which is away from, separated from that Krishna, and it's dormant. So out of compassion, Krishna wants to wake up that Maya Shakti, wake up all the jivas, create universes. It's purely out of compassion, because the nature of compassion, Krishna cannot express compassion in spiritual sky, because nobody is conditioned there. Nobody is Baddha Jiva there. He can have that quality of compassion only in material world. He can show that compassion, express that compassion in material world. Okay, so out of compassion, his Ichha Shakti, his willpower, he expands himself, his Swamsha, his Mahavishnu. He creates, from his heart, he creates a space, and into that space he enters. In the spiritual sky, the material sky evolves, and into that space he enters, along with Maya Shakti. And with his glance, he activates the Maya Shakti, Prakriti. Okay? And then gunas create. Then Mahatattva is created, and Ahankara is created. 5 Tanmatras are created, and the demigods associated with Tanmatras are created. So in the previous words yesterday, you might have studied that how these demigods are worshipping, offering prayers to Krishna, that you have created us separately, but we don't know how to work together. We cannot combine and work together. You are the life of this whole entire creation. Only you can help us. So Krishna understood that, okay, I have to help. So I have created this Mahatattva, Ahankara, and 5 Tanmatras, and gross elements, and senses, and mind. Total 23 elements. Total 23 material elements are there, which Krishna creates in his initial step as Mahavishnu. But those 23 elements don't know how to interact with each other. They are all inert. So Krishna again has to take all of them and enter into each universe. He fills the universe, half of the universe, with his own water, with his own perspiration. And he lies down on that waters with all these elements, and also with jivas and prana shakti and atma shaktis. There are total 1 jiva shakti, unbroken consciousness, and 10 prana shaktis, and 3 atma shaktis. Okay, so he enters into that, and he remains in that condition, like for 1,000 celestial years. It's like the baby in the womb of mother. It's like that. And as Paramatma, as Antaryami, he enters into each of these elements and makes them work together, because they don't know how to work together. So Krishna enters into them, empowers them to work together. Then the universal form is created. Virat Roop is created. And this chapter completely talks about Virat Roop. This is what Maitreya Rishi is explaining to Vidura, how Virat Roop has formed. So only when Krishna interacts with Jiva Shakti, Kala, Karma, and Prakriti, this whole universal form has created. These 14 planetary systems. Okay. So this total 23 material elements, 24 is Jiva Atma, and 25 is Paramatma. This is the whole ingredients involved in the creation of this universe, all the 14 planetary systems. Yeah. So here Maitreya Rishi describes once this universal form has formed, what happened then? So Krishna got all the elements together and he formed from the universal form. Then how did the demigods and all the living entities appeared? So from the universal form, from the mouth of the universal form, the Agni demigod appeared along with voice and vocal cords. And the activity of Agni and voice and vocal cord is words. The words appeared. Then from the palate of the universal Virat Roop, when combined with Varuna, the tongue appeared and the taste appeared. Then through nostrils of Virat Roop, Ashwini Kumaras, along with the sense organ nose appeared, and the smell, the tanmatra, the smell appeared. Okay? From eyeballs, the sun and the vision, the form, the light appeared. And from the skin, the air, the vayu, and the touch, the sense of touch appeared. From the ears, the demigod is Dikpalakas, the ears, the sound appeared. From the hair, the deity of the plants, the bodily hair and itching appeared. From the reproductive organs of the universal form, the Prajapati appeared. Then the semen appeared, then the sexual bliss appeared. From the anus, the Mitra and the excretory functions appeared. From hands, Indra, how to gather food and make livelihood appeared. From the feet, Vishnu, it's not the Supreme Personality of God, it's another Vishnu demigod. His feet, the motion appeared, the destination motion. From heart, Brahma, the intelligence and understanding appeared. From mind, moon, mental actions appeared. From Ahankara, Rudra, identification appeared. From Chitta of Virat Roop, the consciousness appeared. Okay, and in this way, the Virat Roop, the head, the Swarga appeared. Swarga, and it's filled with demigods and who are in full of Sattva Guna. And the feet, the earth appeared, Bhuva, and is filled with living entities, human beings who are in Rajas, and all the supporting ingredients were given so that they can maintain their living there on earth. From the navel, the Bhuva, Tamas, it appeared, and in that loka, in Bhuva loka, is mostly subtle living entities live there who are in Tamoguna. So you have Swarga, then you have Bhuva, then you have Bhuva. Yeah. So, and also from Virat Roop, the head, the Brahmanas, the principle of Brahmanas, Vedas appeared. From his arms, Kshatriyas, the principle of protection appeared. From his thighs, Vaishyas, farming, nourishment to all the living entities appeared. And from feet, the Shudras, service attitude, which is very pleasing to Lord, that appeared. So in this way, from the Virat Roop, the entire creation has occurred within the universe. And this all happened by the internal potency of the Lord, not by Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti is just an ingredient, is inert. So to wake up Maya Shakti, Krishna himself has to, along with this internal potency, he has to wake her up and perform this pastime of Srishti Lila. Srishti, then you have Sthiti. Sthiti means maintenance. Then you have Pralaya, then wind up. So Krishna, out of his compassion, he does this Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, Lila. So this Lila is ongoing Lila. And what is the reason for this ongoing Lila? The reason is the jivas who are Anadi Bahirmukh, they have forgotten Krishna. They don't have any knowledge about Krishna. They are envious of some supreme controller. So those jivas are bound by Maya Shakti. He wants to give them chance, bring them to Vaikuntha, bring them to Golok Vrindavan. So he creates his creation, and all his various incarnations come down into this world and exhibit the pastimes. Janma karma cha me devyam. Krishna exhibits all these pastimes so that the people here, the devotees here who are slowly turning towards Krishna can see that and nourish their bhakti and enter into that pastime and go with Krishna. If their Ishtadeva is Narayan, they go to Vaikuntha. If their Ishtadeva is Ramachandra, they go to Ayodhya. If their Ishtadeva is Vasudev, they go to Dwarka. If the Ishtadev is Krishna, they go to Vrindavan. So in this way, there are many forms of the Lord. If the Ishtadev is Vaman Dev, they go to Vaman Narayan. So in this way, they go to those planets and live with Lord eternal, because that is our eternal constitutional position. That is only in that presence of the Lord, Atma knows itself, its real self. Otherwise, it is just misidentification. It's just illusion. It's thinking that it is the body, it is Indian, or it is white, black, brown, or whatever, male, female. It's just temporary designation is taking up, and Atma is never able to recognize itself and also its super self, which is Krishna. So only in that condition, Atma can be fully realized, and it can be happy. So now, because of the ahankara, the false ego, whatever is happening, based on the karma, the Atma is experiencing that sukha and dukkha, which are just temporary manifestation of the material mind. Okay? So it's just a bondage, and it's just cycle of birth, death, a repeated cycle of birth and death. So Krishna wants to break that and give us our eternal constitutional position, which is to be a servant. Okay? So this is what Maitreya Rishi has explained so far to Vidura, Mahatma Vidura. And he's saying that I could only glorify this much, whatever I understood. So whatever is spoken last 10-15 minutes actually doesn't justify, because this pastime of Srishti, Sthiti and Pralaya, it is ongoing and it is so unlimited. Even Anantashesh cannot describe how this occurs. It's so inconceivable how these elements form, how this universe forms, how God does everything. It's so amazing. Even today, scientists are trying to find out how this universe formed. How old is this universe? What happened? Where did it all began? They just make theories like Big Bang theory and this theory, that theory, parallel universe and string theory and wave, all these kind of wave theories and all kinds of theories they make, but they don't know that God is behind all these things. And how he does so perfectly, so much variety. If you just look out of your window, just so much variety everywhere. So many things are happening. This everything is Virat Rupa of Krishna. And this Virat Rupa of Krishna is a temporary manifestation. He just to make material elements work together. And once the material elements disintegrate, Virat Rupa also cease to exist. And it again goes back into Vishnu. And again, when by Ichha Shakti of Vishnu, again the creation takes place. It's a cyclic process. It's not like a straight line, it's a cyclic process. That's why we have all the yugas, 4 yugas, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. Again, Satya Yuga starts after Kali Yuga. So it's a cyclic process, and it's a repeated. So we want to be out of this cycle and identify who we are exactly. So, okay, that is this process. That is what Srimad Bhagavatam is explaining us. first to go to Krishna, you have to understand where you are. So that's why Bhagavatam deals with this topic of Sarga, Visarga, Ana, Poshana, and all. So Srimad Bhagavatam mainly talks about this universe a lot, about material elements, about Sambandha Gyan. Yeah? But very less information about the spiritual sky. There is, but very, very less. Our acharyas have mercifully described how it is in spiritual world. Our Goswamis have described how it is in spiritual world, like in books like Brihad Bhagavatamrita and all. It's an extension of Srimad Bhagavatam, because they are from that world, all our Goswamis. So they know how things are there, and they have very clearly elaborated how it is in spiritual sky. Like if you read Brihad Bhagavatamrita, you can get detailed, every details of different realms in spiritual sky, all the Vaikunthas and Ayodhya and Dwarka and Goloka Vrindavan. So I will pause here. If you have any questions or comments, any questions regarding what Maitreya Rishi has explained to Mahatma Vidura about the Sarka and the universal form. It is not a 15-20 minutes topic. We have to sit and study this very carefully. There are so many things, so many details, and the more we read this in a service attitude, the more we will understand. Yeah, I'll pause here. Any questions, or we can stop?